Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Thanks for joining us today. It is Thursday, January 6, 2022, and it is 63 degrees, sunny in Phoenix. Well, today's question of the day. Did Jesus call you to be a witness, or did he call you to be a lawyer? From the late great Adrian Rogers, I love how he would listen to some preachers and utilize them. People ask me about that sometime. Why do I copy or use others in my podcast? And great teachers once said the best compliment you could give them was to take the foundation of what they've discovered, adapt it for your use, and make it better among your students, right? So being humble, not a teacher once, I am going to follow the script here. Now, a lawyer argues a case in a court of law. But did Jesus need us to argue and defend what we know is right in our hearts and our head among the wrong or the evildoers? No, it's easy to get caught up in and win this battle but lose the war. Arguments that wind up to be trivial and trite, nothing's accomplished. A witness will tell you what they saw and what they heard and what they know in their personal experience. And so, as I say, the late great Adrian Rogers would listen to preachers on the radio and the ones he admired. And in this show, he took an excerpt from the one I'm taking is Making Christ Known. He speaks of Stuart Briscoe, who said it was impossible in his early Christian walk to follow God in his own strength. The flesh cannot do that. In other shows, he refers to the late great Donald J. Barnhouse, who was a wonderful preacher in the 1940s and 50s. Now, not so much to make a tribute to this man, Adrian, or others, I make the tribute to the one he taught about, Jesus. And do bear with me 3 to 5 minutes during this question of the day to reflect on what Jesus asked us to do from after his death to his resurrected body to the ascension into heaven, his last command in Matthew 28:20. And I do love how Adrian says, I'll be looking from heaven for now. I'm going to be looking down on you. No, he won't be leaving us alone. He is in and with us to perform and to do his will. So without further ado, let's go to that script from Adrian Rogers. And everybody has to say.
Come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me, both in Jerusalem and in Judea and in Samaria and the uttermost part of the earth. That's his program for us. We don't have to wonder what he wants us to do. We're to be witnesses. Now say to yourself, if I'm saved, I'm a witness. You are a witness. You say, well, wait a minute, Pastor, I don't know how to be a witness. Well, I hope you train yourself to be a better witness. But friend, if you're saved, you are a witness. You're a witness. You don't have to have a training course to be a witness. Now, I want you to take one, if you can. But you see, he didn't say you should be my lawyers. What's the difference between a witness and a lawyer? A lawyer argues a case. A witness tells what's seen and heard. Now, you know the reason that some people are not witnesses? They haven't seen or heard anything. Spiritually, they don't know anything. If you know Jesus, you can't help but be a witness. You say, well, Pastor Rogers, if I tried to witness to somebody, they would ask me some questions about something I can't answer. Of course they could. People can ask me questions that I can't answer. You don't have to know the answer to everything. A witness doesn't have to know the answer to everything. All they want to know in a courtroom is what have you seen, what have you heard? Just the facts, ma'am. That's all they want to know. You see, there was a man born blind. Jesus opened his eyes. And so the enemies of Christ began to castigate and excoriate and interrogate this man. And they said, who was it that healed you? What were his credentials? By what authority did he heal you? Well, this man had been he'd never even known of Jesus before until Jesus came and opened his eyes. And they said, tell us, is he a sinner? This man said, look. He said, whether he's a sinner or not, I don't know. But he said, one thing I know. Once I was blind, and now I see. Dr. Vance Havner said, a Christian with a glowing testimony is worth a library full of arguments.
Amen. What? Yeah, isn't that funny that they ask, is this man a sinner? As if a sinner could heal people. These people were really bent on getting Jesus out of the temple and out of the people's desire to follow him. But God's called us to follow him. So I pray that this has been beneficial to you. Thanks for tuning in. Hit subscribe. Tell a friend. Join us daily. We appreciate that. And ask God's blessing upon you. Be ye a witness, not one that just makes decisions. Decisions? Yeah, what happens to those decisions? Do they become disciples? That's the question of the day. God bless you. Have a great day.